You think intelligence is about reading books, getting degrees, speaking politely, and being liked by everyone. That is what they taught you. But the most powerful minds in history were not just intelligent, they were dangerous. Not dangerous in the sense of violence. Dangerous in the sense that they understood people. They understood power. They understood how the world really works beneath smiles, promises, and fake morality. Niccolò Machiavelli did not write fairy tales. In The Prince, he exposed uncomfortable truths, truths that most people feel, but are too afraid to say. This is not about becoming evil. This is about becoming untouchable. Because once you understand these ruthless lessons, you stop being manipulated. You stop being emotionally predictable. You stop being naive, and the world starts reacting to you differently. Today, we enter the first layers of 10 ruthless lessons that make you dangerously smart. Listen carefully. Lesson 1. It is safer to be feared than loved. People say love is powerful, but love is unstable. Love depends on emotions, and emotions change. Fear is different. Fear is consistent. When people love you, they support you as long as it feels good for them. The moment you disappoint them, they withdraw. They betray. They justify it by saying, you changed. But when people fear losing access to you, fear your boundaries, fear your standards, they think twice. Machiavelli wrote that a ruler must choose between being loved or feared. Ideally both. But if forced to choose, fear is safer. Why? Because love is controlled by others. Fear is controlled by you. Now understand this carefully. This does not mean you become cruel. It means you become firm, predictable in your consequences, unshakable in your standards. If someone crosses you and nothing happens, you teach them you are weak. If someone disrespects you and you laugh it off, you train them to continue. But when you calmly withdraw attention, when you remove privileges, when you make it clear there are consequences without emotional drama, something shifts. They start calculating before acting. And once people start calculating around you, you become dangerous. Dangerously smart people are not loud. They are precise. Lesson 2. People are loyal to benefits, not to you. This one hurts. But it frees you. Most loyalty is transactional. Your friends stay as long as you provide emotional support, status, entertainment, connections, or comfort. Your workplace values you as long as you are useful. Even relationships survive because both sides are gaining something. The mistake naive people make is believing loyalty is about feelings. It is about advantage. Machiavelli observed that people will turn against you the moment it benefits them more than staying loyal. That does not mean you distrust everyone. It means you understand incentives. If you want loyalty, create dependency. If you want stability, align interests. If you want protection, make betrayal costly. Dangerously smart individuals always ask one silent question. What does this person gain by staying loyal to me? If the answer is nothing, expect departure. If the answer is strong, expect stability. Never rely on emotions alone. Build value. Build leverage. Build relevance. Lesson 3. Never reveal your full intentions. The average person talks too much. They announce plans before executing them. They share dreams before building them. They reveal strategies before securing outcomes. And what happens? Resistance, jealousy, sabotage. Machiavelli understood that mystery is protection. When people do not fully understand your next move, they cannot counter it effectively. Predictability is vulnerability. Dangerously smart people operate quietly. They move in silence. They observe reactions before revealing direction. When you speak too soon, you give others time to interfere. When you speak less, you gather information. Imagine two players in a chess game. One announces every strategy. The other smiles and moves without explanation. Who has the advantage? Control your narrative by limiting access to your mind. Not everyone deserves insight into your blueprint. Lesson 4. Appear virtuous, even if you are strategic. Here is where most people misunderstand Machiavelli. He did not say, be evil. He said, understand appearances. Society runs on perception. You may be calculating, strategic, even ruthless internally, but externally you must appear calm, reasonable, ethical. Because reputation is currency. If people perceive you as chaotic, they unite against you. If people perceive you as fair, even when you are strategic, they defend you. Dangerously smart individuals manage impressions carefully. They understand that morality is often performative in public spaces. You do not need to reveal every hard decision. You do not need to explain every cold calculation. Maintain a composed exterior. Let people believe you are guided by principle. Meanwhile, you are guided by outcomes. Perception shields power. Lesson 5. Control information. Control reality. Information is power, but selective information is dominance. Most people react to what they know, so whoever shapes what they know shapes their reaction. This does not require manipulation through lies. It requires timing. You do not reveal everything at once. You do not answer every question fully. You redirect attention when necessary. Machiavelli observed that rulers who controlled narratives maintained authority longer. Think about this in everyday life. If someone knows your weaknesses, they use them. If someone knows your fears, they exploit them. If someone knows your desperation, they negotiate against you. But if people are unsure about your limits, unsure about your next move, unsure about your resources, they hesitate. Hesitation is power. Silence is power. Strategic ambiguity is power. Lesson 6. Crush problems early. Small disrespect becomes normalized disrespect. Small manipulation becomes habitual manipulation. Small incompetence becomes systemic failure. Machiavelli warned that problems must be addressed when they are small, because once they grow, they demand greater force. Most people avoid confrontation. They delay difficult conversations. They hope issues disappear. They rarely do. Dangerously smart individuals do not explode. They intervene early, calmly, directly, without emotion. When someone tests a boundary, correct it immediately. When a risk appears, neutralize it before it multiplies. Decisiveness builds reputation, and reputation builds deterrence. Lesson 7. Study human weaknesses. Power does not come from strength alone. It comes from understanding weakness. Everyone has something they crave. Approval, security, recognition, love, status, control. If you understand what someone deeply desires, you understand how they think. This does not mean you exploit maliciously, but it means you are not blind. Machiavelli believed that leaders must understand the psychology of the masses. People move toward pleasure. They move away from pain. Dangerously smart individuals observe patterns. Who seeks validation? Who fears rejection? Who responds to praise? Who collapses under criticism? When you see these patterns, you predict behavior. And when you predict behavior, you control outcomes. Lesson 8. Adapt faster than others. Rigidity is death. The world changes constantly. Strategies that worked yesterday fail tomorrow. Machiavelli admired leaders who adapted quickly to circumstances rather than clinging to fixed ideals. Dangerously smart people are flexible internally but stable externally. They do not attach ego to methods. They attach ego to results. If one approach fails, they shift without emotional attachment. While others are busy defending pride, they are busy adjusting tactics. Adaptability creates survival. Survival creates influence. Lesson 9. Distance yourself emotionally. Emotions are natural, but unchecked emotions reveal leverage. If someone knows what angers you deeply, they can trigger you. If someone knows what makes you desperate, they can manipulate you. Dangerously smart individuals feel emotions, but do not display them impulsively. They respond strategically. When insulted, they observe. When praised, they remain measured. When betrayed, they calculate. Emotional discipline confuses opponents. If they cannot predict your reaction, they lose control over you. Lesson 10. Create the illusion of choice. The most sophisticated form of influence is giving people options that all benefit you. When someone feels forced, they resist. When someone feels they chose freely, they comply. Machiavelli understood this dynamic intuitively. If you want agreement, present limited pathways that lead to your desired outcome. Instead of saying, do this, say, would you prefer option A or option B? Both serve your direction, but the other person feels empowered. Dangerously smart individuals understand that control is most effective when invisible. Power that is obvious invites rebellion. Power that feels voluntary creates loyalty. These are only the first layers, and already you may feel something uncomfortable. Because deep down, you recognize these patterns. You have seen them in offices, in friendships, in politics, in relationships. The world is not driven purely by kindness. It is driven by incentives, perception, psychology, and calculated moves. But remember this: understanding ruthless lessons does not make you evil. It makes you aware. And awareness is protection.